So I'm finally back and I'm ready to finally create the video on the app that I've been working on getting up and running to make sure your diet, training, everything else is all in one spot. The only thing left I have is a little bit of branding things and a couple tweaks. Other than that, it is fully functional and I cannot wait to develop an
extra special relationship, like cousins taking a bath together.
So yes, I'm back with a full video for the first time in 3 whole weeks. I'm still working on finishing my J3U certification, not realizing that this is literally like a 100-hour course. There's a lot more information than I expected in the course, which is awesome. I mean, you pay a lot of money for it. I'd rather have all the information, education, have it broken down, and go over all things bodybuilding. So if there's ever any roadblocks or weird things with a client, you can always refer back to the material and think outside the box to figure things out to get the best result on stage. So what I wanted to focus on in the video is the diet setup and just give you an overview of what it all looks like. There will be wearable integration soon, so when you track your steps and other things on your Apple Watch or whatever, all that stuff, it should automatically sync it into the app, so you don't even have to do that part of it. But I wanted to make sure there was some daily communication and added in a check-in form daily for stress, fatigue, other things you wouldn't think about at the end of the week. I mean, I don't remember what I ate that day. Half the time you asked me on Friday or Saturday to check in about how I felt on Monday, stress-wise or training-wise. I really don't remember. So before I head on over and show you the app, I do want to say that I will still add things on spreadsheets to just give you more information, make things a little easier. There's a macro calculator, a foods list, foods I want you to use, things like that. They're all a lot easier to read on a spreadsheet, and I have them color coded. Makes it really easy to find things and do the calculations there. It gives you a worksheet to kind of plan a day out, see how it is. It'll automatically add your carbs, fats, proteins, all that, and it should table it at the bottom with a total. Now, once you've kind of got that figured out, that's where the app can jump in. You can do it all in the app without using the spreadsheet. I just think the spreadsheet's a little quicker. But so once you start using the app, you can actually track them, and then every day you and I can both see where your carbs, fats, proteins are. The app also does track calories. I don't really track calories really closely, but it will give you that ballpark to let you know. So now that that's out of the way, we're gonna head on over to the desktop view of the app. I will show you everything from my view on there, and I will try to switch to the client view. I might have to bring up my old phone and play around on that to give you a better view, but we'll see in a minute. Okay, so here is the client view. I don't care if you see the email and fake number because I don't use either of them, so go ahead and spam me all you want on them. I don't use them. This is just an account I made as like a client myself just to show you things without showing you my client's actual information. But you can see it'll tell you your check-in day, how many weeks you're going so far, your total weight, current weight, blah, blah, blah. So in terms of this stuff, it will have you daily check-in where you go in the app and you tell me, hey, did you drink 2 liters of water today? I hope to God you drink 2 liters. A gallon's like 4. So yeah, you completed that. Did you walk 10,000 steps? I was actually like 300 under, but we're gonna count it. 10 minutes of sunshine. Yeah, I walked the dog for like hours today. So you can put your weight in, whatever your daytime weight is. Make sure you weigh yourself in the morning before you eat, after you take a piss. That is the most accurate time to weigh yourself every day, where you know it's going to be consistent because you're not holding any extra water weight. So the next thing will be fatigue. You know, click whatever. Stress. I wasn't really stressed today. Strength-wise, I was pretty strong today. Hunger-wise, it was a high day. I'm not hungry on high days at this point. Not with 3 a week. Sleep, my sleep felt good, but my metrics weren't good. I was tracking that on my app. I didn't get that much deep sleep somehow. Recovery, felt pretty good. Let's say energy, I felt good today. Digestion-wise, it's tough on high days. Steps, what to say, it was 9,700. Glucose has been about 84. Ugh, all right, I gotta admit this to everybody. Now my iron's been really low, so I have like really low red blood cell count right now. And what ends up happening with that is then my heart starts pumping even faster to get blood to areas while I'm working out, because I don't have that many red blood cells circulating in the area to carry oxygen. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm like a woman when it comes to iron. For whatever reason, it gets super low if I stop taking my multivitamin. I ran out like 3 weeks ago and got lazy, didn't order it. Did blood work, and I found out my iron went from middle high of the range to off the scale again within less than a month. So my heart rate was shooting up. That's how I knew to get blood work. That's why we do blood work, guys. You can troubleshoot a lot of things. If something's going wrong, you can fix it. Like that. If I went to a doctor, they probably would not pull the blood work, and they'd be trying to prescribe me drugs and things, when in reality I know it's iron and red blood cell count related. My hemoglobin's also low. Number of hours of sleep. I actually got 8.5-ish. I don't add the calorie part usually to the client ones, I don't think. When you're doing the diet tracking, it should already fill this in, so don't worry about that. So, and I'll show you, hey, and these are your check-in days. If you're doing a contest prep, it starts a countdown for you, lets you know exactly when you're doing it. Gives you your cardio goals, your step goals right here. Complete and send it to coach. Boom. So now on to our nutrition tab. This is what I really care about. So here you'll see medium, high, low day. The only thing the app does not do is assign you a medium, low, and high day on the calendar, unfortunately. I think they're working towards that. You can see I just threw in, hey, I did a chest workout today, contest prep cycles going through here. We did the Stairmaster for cardio. You can map a lot of things out on this calendar, and it does help with when we're managing multiple people, and, you know, I want to make sure, A, I see everything, B, you can also see it, so you know, this is the client view. So, you know, hey, I did chest on Saturday. Maybe I need to wait until it's recovered on like Wednesday to hit it again. So if you forget anything, at least it's on the calendar also. But in terms of the nutrition, medium, high, low days, there will be a little tab in the upper right-hand section when you're in the client view on the app, which I might bring up in a minute. So I pulled it up on my old phone here. It's only Wi-Fi, but here you can see the nutrition log. It gives you the little like apple rings and all that. If you click right up here, your medium, low, and high days will pop up. So there's a little bit of accountability to make sure if you're not working out that day, click low day. If you're taking your high carb day, click high carb day, because it will change your meals. So I'm gonna keep it on medium. You can see meal 1. It's gonna tell you your protein, carbs, fats, has calories on there. As I said, I don't care about them as much as making sure your macros are in place, because I don't count trace sources of food. And what I mean by trace sources is if you have a thing of chicken breast or let's just say rice, you see a thing of chicken breast, there might be a little piece of fat on that. You cut it off. There might be a little bit inside there too. Maybe it's 1 gram on the package, but maybe there's actually 2 grams in that breast versus another breast in the same package only has 1 gram. Same thing with rice. You might have 1 to 2 grams of fat or protein in it that you can't really track. So are we going to worry about those 2 calories and those really trace sources that are going to vary day to day? No, because if you do it, if you track the same way consistently over time, it's not going to matter. It's all about you tracking it consistently the way you are outlined here. And if you do it consistently, the results are going to be consistent. We're going by the visuals, not nitty gritty 1 or 2 calories. Don't worry about it. It's a lot of stress that you don't need when you're dieting. So we're not counting trace sources. And if you follow my foods list, I already put the entire foods list in by hand. It took me like 2 hours. This is a long process to get this all set up. But if you type in RFBB and then the food item, it'll come in under just the macro I want you to track. So you don't have to worry about the trace source at all. I'll show you that in a second. So RFBB stands for Realistic Fitness and Bodybuilding, because it rhymes. But that's the shortened version of it. That's the name of my YouTube channel. So what you're gonna see here is RFBB chicken, rice, blah blah blah. It has just the proteins, not the 1 or 2 carbs and fats. Makes it a lot cleaner to track it, and then you can make sure you're getting the proper sources in, so we can consistently track things in either a fat loss or a muscle gain phase to make sure we're making consistent progress. Now there is a barcode scanner and everything else to make it even easier. I also have an attachment up here that contains the permitted foods list, the macro calculator, all that. I'll open that up right now. So as you should be able to see right here, this is just a random diet plan. I don't even think these numbers are for anybody, but here's your medium days, high day, low day. That'll give you all your information here. Also, all will be in the app. It's just another view for this specifically and gives you a little more information. Now, the big things that aren't in the app will be the permitted foods list, where it just tells you what you can and cannot have. This makes it easy to stick to that trace macro plan, where you're not counting every little thing in there, because these are pretty much whole sources of food. You're not going to have your Twizzlers or Hershey chocolate bar that has a bunch of fat and sugar and carbs in it. Then you got to track all those little things in there. We're trying to keep it simple and use things that your body can use to build muscle. So as for the cheat sheet, you have this here. As I said, I've already put in a bunch of sample meals, just to give you rough estimates. You can go in there, change all these. It's all editable. I just wanted to give you a good outlook on what it would look like if you're going to do a day with a bunch of random stuff like chicken and almonds and sweet potato fries, blueberries, egg whites. And then I gave you the conversions on all of them already. So if I give you 35, 45, or 65 grams per meal, it's all right there. You can convert it, add it right into the chart. Now, the one nice thing, the app will automatically convert that and tell you the weight if you're doing 35 grams versus 45 grams. So if you're tracking inside the app, you don't need this. If you don't want to track inside the app, you will need to use this chart or the macro calculator right here, which will tell you, say, if you eat 50 grams of rice, 50 grams of carbs, boom, 160 grams on the food scale would be 50 grams of carbs worth of rice. Now here's the coach's view. This will show you kind of what you would see in the app too, in terms of, you saw the wheel and all that, but this is what I meant by it automatically converts things. If you go RFBB chicken breast and you put in that you ate, 50 protein grams, it automatically tells you the weight right there. So it essentially takes the place of that spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is still valuable because it has a permitted foods list, but really it's easier if you track in the app. That's what it's there for. That's what I spent time on making for you. But you don't have to use it. Say either way, as long as you follow the diet, that is the biggest thing. I care about adherence. That's why I give you both options. I want it to be something you can follow and we will make results with. So as for other features that we can use both coach and client to go over check-ins, this is like the best part about this is I can go in here. I'll see your daily habits for the day, see where we're at. It'll eventually give me charts if you fill it in long enough. I haven't on my fake account here, as far as I know, but it'll tell you like obviously we don't care about your height changing, but say like your strength, you can track that in there. Your weight, it'll give you charts to see where we're at. Okay, this one I have filled out a little bit, but you can see, from 201, and we'll see where the weight's going, where the trends are, and that way we can really go back and see things. Because day to day you might not notice things, but if we see a trend with certain things and we need to fix something, nip it in the butt before it becomes an issue, we can do it right here. There's also a quick overview that shows me if we just review quickly day to day. Now I can see where trends are going. We can make notes. This is for coach only, the client notes. So if I make a change, we can document it and remember it to go back, because it might be in a couple months something changes and it's like, hey, what did we do to get to that point? We did something before that looked better than I look now. Right there. So when we go to do check-ins, you can click on the check-in here. I can click on it. But what I will do though, you'll actually see this because when we do check-ins and major ones, I'll do a Loom video where I can go through all this with you, show you in a video what I'm looking at, where my thought process is going, and then you can respond and let me know what you think. There is a messaging button up here where we can send each other voice, video, or text messages directly in the app. So if you're like me, I don't like typing things out all the time. Sometimes I'll shoot a voice message and it's way easier. You can follow along, you can play it back. For actual check-ins, I'll do the Loom so you can see what I'm clicking on and where the mouse is and, you know, where the thought process is going here. But for like the check-in, here it tells you, hey, and did this, blah, blah, blah. I just threw a random natty picture from like 5 years ago on there just to have a picture to show you the compare tool. The workout program, that is a whole different ball game. They are redoing the whole workout section right now. It will be up and running within the next week, I think. So for now, I'm still giving the spreadsheet that outlines the workout or letting you do your own. Eventually, we'll get it so you can just track it in there. It tells you your weights, all that. And that'll be a lot easier if you want to use it. As I said, it's all about adherence. If you want to use the RP app, that's what I use. I don't even use this for when I'm doing my own workouts. I use the RP app because it'll adjust your intensity up and down, weights, reps, based on how you felt and how your recovery was. So that way you're always progressing. This will be similar. It just doesn't have the AI in the background like Mike's app does, and that's why he spent so long in developing it and charges for it. But now you can see, hey, in the cardio log, the workout log, how all that went. And this is just the first part of the check-in here. Now, here, beats per minute, estimation on calories, that's all great. So, and then if we go to the gallery, we can compare and contrast here. So say, hey, this was my starting picture 5 years ago, and this was an old check-in picture from my cut. So we can go over, hey, this is what we're seeing side by side. Obviously, when you have the same pose, it's going to be a lot easier. But you can point things out to each other. And where we're... That's probably a better comparison. I mean, here, hey, you're looking flabby and natty and shitty. Hey, here you're looking semi-diced. Near-ish the end of a cut, not really. Which... with those check-in pictures, I do want them in kind of shitty lighting like this. Like this is in the morning before I ate. Not flex, maybe a little bit of flex, but pretty relaxed and crappy lighting, no pump. That way we can see you at your absolute worst. We know exactly what we need to chisel out, dial in, add muscle to, and I don't have all the filters and crap to make you look better. You can post that stuff on Instagram, that's fine. But what you send me the worst of the worst. We want to see how you look realistically every day, because when you step on the stage, you're not going to have all the Instagram filters to help you out on those bright stage lights. So as you guys can see, this is the culmination of a couple of weeks of work I've been putting in the little bit of free time I have. My big thing is, I mean, you listen to any marketing person, they'll always tell you to sell the destination is the number one thing. And obviously that's the biggest thing at the end of the day, is getting you looking good for being on stage or whatever event you're about to be doing. But I think that the experience getting there is also a big component, because what I see over and over again with fitness plans is people fall off. Even if you start really hot with like spreadsheets, a lot of times people stop clearing them out, or you start to fade away from it if you don't have a coach that's really communicating with you the whole time. You know, usually it starts out strong for a couple months and it fades away. Whereas a system like this, you're doing a check-in every day. I'm checking in every week, no matter what. And, you know, I see those daily check-ins. If I see something's off, I'm going to send you a message. I'm going to send you a video. We're going to be on top of it every single day. So 6 months down the line, we don't have that fall off where things start going down a rabbit hole. We want realistic results, and I want you to be the best you possible when this is all said and done.